Hello friends, welcome to IT Articles. In this tutorial, we're gonna see the async await in JavaScript. So in last tutorial, we saw promises. In this tutorial, we will see async await. Async await is a special keyword that works with a promise and gives you a better way to write and handle the promises. First, let's understand both the keywords one by one. Then we'll see how we can use both the keywords, which gives you some benefits. So let's say here we are returning some values, and in case if you want to display, so how we do it, we have another function, let's say display. What it will do is we'll pass the value here, let's say name, and here we'll display something like console.log and something user name is and name. So finally here how we'll do is we'll first get the name is equals to get username, and then we'll display for display what we'll call the display and we'll pass the name. So as of now I'm getting the username or some values from here, then I'm passing this value here that will display. So let's open the console and we'll run this script using node. So node script, and you see it will return you some values directly. So far so good. Now we'll understand the async keyword, what difference it will make in case if you use. So async keyword can be used in front of any function. So here we can use, or here we can use. So async keyword can be used in front of any JavaScript function. So now understand what difference it will make if you use the async keyword in this function. So if we use async with any function, it will make sure that the return value of this function should be a promise. If you are returning a promise here like new promise and executor here as I showed, resolve, reject, and then here you call some resolve. So if you are returning some promise, then it's okay, it will return this promise as it is. But in case if you are returning some value directly like this, and if you are not returning some promise, it will convert this value to promise by using promise.resolve, and it will pass your value here. Finally, the return type is now a promise. Let's prove this now. So let's come back to our console, and in case if we use the same command to run this script, you see it says promise IT articles. So now instead of direct name, it will give you that this value is type of promise. So you know when we have some promise, how we can get the value using a then function. So if it is a promise, we can use the then function. So here you have a name, we can display this username now. So instead of nm, we'll be use the uname. So I'm expecting now everything should be the same. It will give you the exact result that we saw in first try, because now it's a promise and we passed the promise here. Now we are using a then function to get the value from this promise. So let's open the console again and run using node. You see now this value is same what we have in first time. So that proves if you are using async, that will convert your function to a promise. So now let's see await keyword. So await keyword can be used inside a function which is type of async. So this function is type of async. Of course we can use a await keyword inside this function. This function is not type of async. We can't use await keyword inside this function because this function is not type of async. Now we'll see what's the use of await. So in case if we use await here, and after the await we use a promise. So if we use the await keyword in front of any promise, that's mean here at this line or line number 4, it will stop and it will wait till the promise is either fulfilled or rejected. Then only it will come to the line number 5. If you see closely here at line number 9 and 10, when 9 number is fulfilled, then it comes to the line number 10, and if we have a catch here, so if n is rejected, then it comes to the line number 13. So here also it will do the same thing, but you see the syntax how we write. We use the then we have some callback, then we have a catch that have another callback for the rejection. But if we are using a await keyword and you have some promise, it will give you a directly value of this promise in this variable, and there is no need to have a then or catch or finally. You can directly use a await keyword and it will at line number 4, it will wait till this promise is fulfilled or rejected, and if it is fulfilled, then it will give you the value here, and if it is rejected at this line, it will throw an error. So either you can have a try catch here, or because it was a promise, you can have some catch at this nm. or here. So let's prove this. We'll use the await keyword. Here we using the then, so instead of then I said I can use the await instead of then. So first I want to use the await for the promise, and I said this is a promise, so let's rename it as a pro. So because this keyword is now promise, or this value is promise, so in case if we want to use the await in front of promise, this function should be async. So let's make this function async. Now we can use the await and we can use the promise here. If we are using await in front of this promise, I said it will wait here and it will return you the final value, that is name. And in case if you want to display, you can console and you can display name here. So far so good. And can you see the difference? Earlier we were having then or catch or finally. Now you can have just await keyword that will give you the directly name, and finally you can console the same. So let's save and execute here on node. So node script, see, you got the exact desired name. Earlier I was having some line here like user name is, so let's have this here again just to get the exact result. See, now you are getting the same result. So this is how we can use the async await keywords. Once again, to summarize, if we use the async keyword in front of a function, it will make sure the function is returning a promise. If we are trying to use the await in any function, make sure the function is type of async, and after await we use a promise. And if you use the await keyword, it will wait here till the promise is either fulfilled or rejected. So that's all in this video, guys. Thank you so much. In case if you have any questions regarding this video or any other video, please don't forget to post your comments. Thank you so much.